Moataz El Fegiery is the vice president at EuroMed Rights, a network of human rights organizations in Europe and the Mediterranean. And Moataz, you're joining us from Dublin today. We're grateful for your time. I just wanted, first of all, your early thoughts on this Human Rights Watch report, which largely undercuts the Israeli accusation that we've heard many times that schools are used by Palestinian fighters, and that is why they attack them.
The Israeli narrative and the stories since the beginning of this war has been repeatedly challenged, not just by Human Rights Watch, by other organizations, by United Nations experts, by Palestinian human rights organization. So this report for me is not like surprise what is included in the report, but I'm not surprised of what is included in this report, but it provides, of course, substantial evidence to refute the story marketed by Israel internationally that there are civilian sites which used by Hamas fighters. It's very clear from this report that there is no evidence suggests that, and even it is a very important rule in internationally that nothing justify attacking civilians, even if there are any suspicions that certain sites involve military target, but there are also evidence that the same sites involve or include civilians, innocent civilians. Military should weigh this consideration and should protect civilians and take all measures to protect civilians. So this is something undebatable internationally.
Yeah, just to back you up on that point, just as a matter of international law, it is absolutely certain that as part of the law of war, any belligerent needs to minimize civilian casualties, which is what you were saying. Look, right now, what's making headlines right now is, of course, the starvation and people being killed as they try to feed themselves, as they seek food at those GHF sites. But if you throw an entire generation out of school, entire generation of school-aged children, and you deprive them of an education, I mean, that could be just as deeply devastating to a population. What does that do to a group of people, to a population?
And this is the goal of Israel since the beginning of this war, is to transform Gaza, a place that lose all standard of living, and expel and pressure Palestinians to leave Gaza. This is actually the goal. And we actually, this report, we need to look at it from in a broader context. Targeting these sites, including religious sites, are not new, including hospital and medical institutions. And these institutions actually provided shelter for civilians. So Israel has intention to target these institutions. So they, of course, achieve massive killing and casualties among the civilians, but at the same time, spread a climate of fear and terrorize civilians so they can just leave the territory. This is, I think, the goal, and it is part of the genocidal mentality that actually influenced the Israeli military institutions since the beginning of this war.
Moataz El Fegiery, EuroMed Rights, thank you very much for joining us on the Al Jazeera News Hour.
Don't miss out, get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.